Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link. I said it and I meant it. Wake that ass up. Ain't no sleeping up in here. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Ooh, I got some energy. I didn't even go to the gym this morning, but I did go for a 2-mile walk. I saw, I'm tired of those people. I'm going to break them up this in my neighborhood. You know what they do? They walk, they see you waving. Hi. Like they don't even see you. I'm getting ready to do something about that. Every person I mean, good morning. Good morning. I remember one time during COVID, when COVID first started, Brian, my husband, we went for a walk and people literally they'd be like 100 yards down the sidewalk coming this way on the sensor. They run across the street. And we didn't want to say nothing to your ass anyway. Anyway, I am starting a new thing when instead of not doing anything, like I got up a little late this morning again. And I was like, man, I don't have time to go to the gym. I'm doing all the math in my head. I said, well, why don't I go for a 25-minute walk? It really is something. My knees were screaming like at minute 18. What in the world? So anyway, do something. A little bit of something is always better than a whole lot of what? Nothing. That's right. And that is the bell of purpose. Not a gimmick, not a prop. It is an opportunity, a reminder. I ring it because when I ring it, just like that bell has a ring to it, you guessed it, so does the truth. And I don't want you to miss that. So welcome to today's show. Guess who's back? Finally. On hiatus. She kills me. Her contract is better than mine. Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo's here, my sidekick. And great show for you today. PIA RENEE is in the house. I got some humdingers on here today. Some questions. She was going to be here a couple weeks ago, but shit happens. So anyway, she's here today, and that's all that matters. Do I have any announcements? One. Well, really two. I want to say again, thank you to Martha Razzo and all of her incredible team. Seriously, last Thursday and Friday at the Tinley Park Convention Center, we knocked it out of the park. Hey, we did. It was my first time ever being an MC, and I am headed. Guess what? To Boston. We're talking today at 11 o'clock to set it up. Sanjeev Chopra, Deepak Chopra's brother, was our keynote, and we hit it all. We had already hit it all because, I was like, hi, need a new friend? Right. He said, yeah. So anyway, Brian and I are going to his house. His wife teaches transcendental meditation. She taught Katy Perry. She taught Oprah. 4 days it takes. Brian and I are headed there next month, right? I figure by November, I should be able to levitate. Think I can't? You'll see. So anyway, that's happening. And I also want to say thank you to all of you that have been reaching out with all your wonderful remarks and your congratulatory everything. We are in, here it is, the Los Angeles Tribune magazine, y'all. Slowly is. I had to get country, so you could tell I'm still humble. The power of we, when we went to Romania back in May, you guys might remember that, the Legacy of Hope tour. Yay, we finally had some national press. And the interesting part is the PR person tried to sell me that same story, 2 pages, for $19,000 before we went. I was like, girl, please. Right? Lord have mercy. No, but God is good all the time and all the time. You better believe it. So listen, I'm not going to read a bio. I'm going to show something. Watch this, y'all. Our guest today, hold on. I don't want to hit the wrong button and mess it up. Here we go. Let me wait. I'm blowing it up. How you blow it up? Okay. Watch this. Not to take nothing from you, Pia, but John Legend wearing the pants. You heard him screaming your name. Let me change this background. Wow, welcome to the show, PIA RENEE.
Thank you for having me.
When was that? I just found that 10 minutes ago when we were chatting.
This was at Ravinia last year? Or a year before last?
Brian and I go to Ravinia all the time. How come?
This was during John Legend's Big Love tour. So it's probably 2 years ago, not one.
Well, it must have been right after the season 20.
Yes, it was. It was. Time is such a blur. So yes, it was right after season 20 wrapped.
See, you don't know this, but while you were on the show, we had a picture of you blown up and glued it to the front of our garage door.
Oh, do you have pictures of that?
I do.
I want one.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to
Thank
you because
you.
we were telling people to support. Mm, mm. That's my special K. I'm hungry.
Okay, I love it.
Listen, this is what I do because I got a bunch of questions. I'm going to dip out, let you create your own vibe with the audience. Just say hi. Then I'm going to pop right back in and we're going to get started on these great questions. You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I took a shower for you.
You did? Oh, I did last night. You know, Brian takes like 3 showers a day.
I love that for him. I
You
do.
do?
I admire people like that because I am not one of them.
Black people can't do that. We need to leave the oil in our skin, not take it out. Like,
Yes.
right? You know what I'm saying? So they can get away with it. What? Well, they take it out of there. I'm just saying, people that are not black, most people try to get the oil out of their hair. We be putting it in.
Yes, this is true.
You know, we walk our own road, y'all. That's why black don't crack. Y'all just don't know it yet. Here we go. All you, take it away, PIA RENEE.
So hello, everybody. I am PIA RENEE. I'm very, very thrilled to be here, be speaking with you today. I hope that something that I share with you all is remedial or beneficial to you in some way, shape, or form. I'm so excited. I wish I had a bowl. Well, I don't wish I had a bowl of Special K. I would actually Frosted Flakes because I prefer the glucose that comes with it. So, yes.
Okay, well, you won't be saying that when you're 61 like me.
Child, I'm trying to get together right now so that hopefully by 61 I'll be good and not on the sugar at all.
I know that's right. We had a nutrition doctor at our house. She was one of the speakers. Hi, Dr. Mincy Shaw. Here last week she stayed 4 days. And her love interest, John Block. Hi, John. And boy, you know, when those people come, you know, like you pull out something like, I'm like, what's that? And then you're like, and they're like, I'm like, what? You know what I mean? I threw out half the shit we had upstairs before she left. But it's also that we can live a better life, you know? And you want to know something that happened while they were here? Because you know my dirty little secret, smoking. I quit smoking.
Really?
Yes. She had this thing where she scanned us. You put your hand in it. Brian's numbers were double mine. It's good. And I was like, why is mine so low? Am I about to die? Then she was like, you might want to quit. Yeah. Very next day, done. It'll be
what were they measuring? What was she
all the I don't know, all the good stuff opposed to the bad stuff in your body, all stem cells, stuff, all kind of stuff. And she was a doctor of pharmacology. And then after she got in at CVS and she was running a CVS and all this, she's a medical doctor of pharmacology. She said no, and she went totally holistic. So she's like a whistleblower, you know. And boy, I don't use. I thought I was doing the right thing with extra virgin olive oil. Replaced it. I got coconut oil up there now. All kind of little bitty tweaks, and I figured, well, I'll start there, and I feel a difference already. Last time I went for a walk was that time I described with Brian and I during COVID, but they went for a walk while they were here. So I was like, I'm gonna go for a walk. A good influence. They were a good influence. So there it is. So I want to talk about you though. Yeah. So okay, we're gonna get started. You all know you saw up here on the stage with John Legend because she was on his team. Now that's not the first show, competitive show for singers that you've been on, vocalist. You were on American Idol once upon a time, right?
Yes, I was.
What year was that? And how was that experience as opposed to this one?
It was 2007. I was 24, turning 25. And it was very vastly different. Idol is at the time, I don't know if they've evolved in any way in terms of how they handle their talent, but they were very abrasive and rough, and all they cared about, well, at the end of the day, it's both shows care about good TV. It's really not about the talent. The talent is the vehicle that gets the viewership, but at the bottom line is about good TV. So
Yeah, which
we
makes
just,
sense.
yeah, we were I can say personally I felt handled with much better care at with by the production team of The Voice than I did at Idol. So Idol was rough.
Do
It
you
was
think?
rough.
Well, do you think that had anything to do too with you've evolved as an artist a lot more, so you
Mhm.
don't take all that you took back when you didn't know better at the beginning. Do you think that had a little bit to do with it as well?
To a degree, yes. But also it has a lot to do with the intention of the production as well. I think The Voice, they are intentional about how they handle the talent, because I do believe Idol had such a because Idol came out first. I,
Yes.
Idol was the forerunner, so they did have such a reputation for being exploitive of people. You know, they came on and they sang badly, and you see people go far in the competition who couldn't sing at all versus people who were getting sent out at the ground level auditions and were vocal powerhouses because they didn't maybe have the look, or they maybe didn't seem like they would have a personality that would be, you know, appealing to production.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think that a certain atmosphere was curated on purpose by The Voice.
In order, and another thing, scandal. I haven't heard of any scandal. Not to say there hasn't been any, but I
Mhm.
haven't heard any scandal related to The Voice, where they've been a whole slew of it on that other show. And
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? And just in
Mhm.
case, I'm keeping their name out of my mouth, just in case I run into one of them. You know,
Mhm.
I ain't trying to end up like Chris Rock.
Oh, I
Keep my
doubt it.
name out of your mouth.
As much time as you spend in the gym, I highly doubt that somebody can walk up
I
and
know
say
that's right. Plus,
that. I
I'll put a
doubt it.
do rag on and transform on their ass in a minute.
It won't even
Who you
take a do
talking to?
rag.
Right. So let me ask you this. When did you get started professionally? Now you were on that show 24, 25, but how long before then did you say, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it all the way?
I would say at about 21 or 22, that's when I started at Harold Washington College as a music student. And I majored in music there. I started playing bass guitar at that age, and then I started playing in a local reggae band. And then reggae music is where I cut my teeth professionally. And from there, I traveled the world singing background for Teddy Afro, who's huge. He's a huge Ethiopian singer. So
Wow.
yeah.
Now I forgot that you were on Empire, the TV
Yes.
show, and I think you were playing
Bass.
the
Yep.
bass on there.
Yep.
And then what was that thing where you were in like a building? You were in a dress that was like 5 stories long.
Oh yeah, that was so that's this oh God, what would I call it?
That was awesome.
So it's called Cabinet of Curiosity. He named it after this movie. And the guy who does it, his name is Frank. I can't recall Frank's last name, but basically he goes to these different corporate events, and when they have like big parties for their employees, or if they're courting new clients, he'll put on this like fantastic Narnia type of
Yes.
thing. And I just so happened to be the lady in the tall lady. So they always
Yes.
hire a woman who plays an instrument, and prior to me, there was a young lady playing a violin, but I sang and played. So I did it at the Detroit Museum of Art, as well as for a steel company out in St. Louis. And yeah, it's 12 feet tall. It's a steel dress. I'm standing in heels on a ladder, playing bass guitar, singing songs. So that was a really dope experience. I
It
really enjoyed
was. And it was for us because we were like, wonder what's under there. What
it. Yeah, a
I thought
ladder.
there were people. I thought you had like drinks and food down in there. You could just reach down. I was like,
No.
their question, what does she do if she has to use the bathroom? And I was,
Make sure I don't have to use the
oh
bathroom.
my God, what if
Yeah.
something just like came over you, you way up there? Well, ain't nobody gonna see it unless they standing
They
under that
won't,
dress.
but trust me, it is a fine art to time in when and if you consume food and when you have to hit the stage. So
And you
yeah.
have to think about all these things.
Yep.
See, a lot of people don't realize that, and a lot of things they don't realize. So we're gonna cover a bunch of slabs of the sidewalk about what it takes to do what you do. First of all, I want to ask, when you said you wanted to do this, was there any pushback from people in your family? Because a girl, and they're like, I don't know, nobody makes it. There's a lot of crap that go on in there. Drugs, sex, rock and roll, all of that. Were they pretty much supportive, or were they a little like, Pia, I don't know, take your ass to school, girl?
The latter. So I wanted to do this from a wee lass. I was like 13 and begging, they had different competitions back in the 90s on the radio stations. And I would beg, like, please take me to the radio station, please, please. And my aunt at the time was like, well, sing something for us. I'm like, no, I'm gonna sing when I get to the radio station. She was like, well, if you won't sing for us, you ain't gonna sing for them. It's like,
I know that's right.
I don't fucking like y'all. I don't know them. So I'm gonna sing good for them because I don't know them. But y'all, that was my logic as a 13-year-old.
You guys are too critical, maybe.
Yeah, she could have been. They were extremely not supportive, and when people just write you off as a kid,
right?
She may have been right. In my mind, I was just set, and I think that had I been encouraged in that moment to actually see, and then say, hey, well, if they would have taken me, and I maybe didn't do well because I didn't have any practice in front of a crowd, that could have been a learning experience for me and something that I could have drew from at that time. But to just say flat out no, and then not have a follow-up, or, well, let's get you some lessons, or let's get you.
They might have done you a favor, though. Because remember Cindy Brady? Remember when she was going to be on that TV show? I'm going to be a star. And then the camera come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Could have very well been true, but at the end of the day, it would have been a massive learning experience for me. So there would have been a loss in it at all.
Do you remember your first break?
Ooh, what would you define break?
When you, like, someone made an offer or an opportunity, something you got to feel. It was like, okay, here it is. Here's my definition of first break.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I think I'm a like greatness. That.
Ew.
I must have had some deodorant on that finger.
That is hilarious.
It tastes like perfume or something. Anyway, go on. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Interesting. Okay, here's how I can tie you to your first break. Do you remember your first bout with stage fright?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
See how I took you there?
This is a good segue, because I would say that's exactly where I would say I felt it at. Not necessarily because of an opportunity being presented to me or somebody acknowledging me in a certain way. I would say overcoming certain insecurities and overcoming certain fears that I had that were, quite honest, crippling. Like, I grew up singing in church very young, and I would several times I would sabotage the solo because I was afraid somebody would laugh at me, or I was afraid they would make fun of me. So I would sing well, and then all of a sudden I would mess the song up because I was like, they gonna laugh, so let's just mess it up. Or I would be singing, or I would forget the words because I internalized that. And after a while, I just got tired of losing. So when I turned about 17 and I sang in church again, and somebody literally had to come next to me and hold my hand to get me through the song, because I was I'm sick of that. I'm like, when I'm at home by myself, I'm amazing. Why is it that when I come outside, I turn into Porky the Pig, and I got sick of it.
What do you think that was?
Just not being affirmed and having, so the saying, like, having talent that's like fire shut up in my bones, but it's competing with my lack of self-worth and my lack of affirmation. So it's like you got this part of you that's feeling this crippled and rife with insecurity and low self-esteem, but then you got this gift that's like, but I can do it, and I can do it real good, and I can't not do it. And so you got these things going to war, and it's like, I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of sounding like crap, because I know I can do this and do it well.
And speaking of doing it well, We doing it well. We do it. Okay. I remember on your season on The Voice, season 20, a lot of stellar performances, a lot of memorable standout performances, as well as a lot of memorable outfits. A couple of them I knew when Brian and I were saying, I was like, Pia didn't pick that. Pia did not pick that outfit. That is not Pia. I could tell, right? But we could tell when it was you and I think it affected every part of what you did because you are such an authentic person. Even like when you come to the house, we the thing we love most is watching people watch you, watching our guests because they all know you come. That's the only time they come on time.
Oh, wow.
Is when they know you coming, right? When they know you're coming, they come on time, right? You don't want to miss any. So my favorite 2 performances, and I'm going to share one of them here, was What the World Needs Now.
Yes.
Just love how you colored that. Your texturizing was on point. But then there was this one. Take a look, you guys.
I had a dream. I got everything I wanted, not what you think. And if I'm being honest, it might have been a nightmare to anyone who might care. Thought I could fly, so I stepped off the golden. Nobody cried, nobody even noticed. But when I wake up, I see you with me. And you say, as long as I'm here, no one can hurt you. Don't wanna lie here, but you can learn to. If I could change the way you see yourself, you wouldn't wonder why you're here. They don't deserve you. If I knew it all then, would I do it again? Would I do it again? If they knew what they said would go straight to my head, what would they say instead? If I knew it all then, would I do it again? Would I do it again? If they knew what they said would go straight to my head, what would they say instead?
But I lost the sound button. Lauren, I cannot hear you. I don't know what happened with the sound. You're muted.
Because I muted. Because I was, you know why? Because I was pouring coffee. And when people can't see me and I'm pouring coffee out of this thing, they think I'm peeing.
Oh, God, no.
Yes. So I always forget to, right. It was really coffee. Now, listen, here's the thing, because we said we're going to talk about all that stuff. Now, I was watching you, and as a musician, I know how it is, because I know, like, in the studio, I'll be, like, arguing with the producer. I killed that part. And they're like, Lauren, no, you didn't. And they think, okay, we're going to burn a disc. I'm driving from Michigan back here to the house. I wasn't even on I-94 yet. And I done threw that thing out the window. I was like, wow, Lord. Right. So let's talk about this. When you do stuff is out there forever. Now, I was watching you, and you know, people don't know. You got to perform, whether you woke up sounding like Louise Jefferson, George, or not, whatever. If you got a cold, you just found out your cat died, you still got to move it on through there. So now I'm watching you down there, and you know, because I know you like, if you hit a spot and you're like, I could have done better there. I saw your face down in the green when you were like, so talk about this part. How do you deal with being critical when you watch yourself? And is it hard for you to watch yourself? I can't do it. I can't watch bathrobe moments. I can't watch, only in my sizzle reels or the commercials. But like my stage performances, the movie, I still ain't seen it. It'll be a year old in December. I probably never will. Talk about that. Is it hard for you to watch yourself without being judgmental and critical? And because this kind of ties into one of the things on my list about how we deal with being judged. And I think the way we deal with people judging us is going to have a lot to do with how we judge ourselves. So talk about that if you could.
Thank you. I'm going to be honest. Of all of my voice performances, this is the one that I had not watched. And I'm going to tell you why.
I didn't know this going in, y'all, just because they're like, you dirty, Lauren.
I did not watch that, and I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
My mother died during the process of the whole competition. We were under heavy COVID protocols.
Yeah.
I was separate from my family. My family dynamic was unraveling rapidly, and I was the brunt of a lot of accusation at the time. You know, folks are grieving, they mad, and I'm the oldest, so I'm the
within the family dynamic.
Yes. So being the second or surrogate mother, they don't want me. They want their mama, and that's understandable. So any and every little thing is my fault. I didn't do this right. I didn't do enough of this or that because I'm not present. So a lot of things that needed to be done, I'm in LA. I can't get to it. So that performance, I had slept probably an hour the night before because I had just all of the stress and everything that was happening.
Oh.
I had like a severe allergic reaction. I was on prednisone, and prednisone, if you don't know about prednisone, it's a powerful steroid that not only affects your sleep, but it does something to you psychologically. So I was in a very, very, very rough place. And I actually, before that performance, I had a huge breakdown backstage, so much so that at the time there were people, a third party company that was at the production, making sure everybody was following the COVID protocols, making sure everybody had distance, the masks, everything. I broke down so bad, them people got the hell up out of Dodge. That's how bad I just gutturally cried.
Yeah. Those ugly cries times 10.
Yeah, and it was just because
a lot.
The song Victor sang, like we had to practice our if we needed to do the instant save, if we didn't get enough votes to get through to the next phase, we had to practice our song, and that was my instant save song.
Yes.
Victor, who was on my team, who moved forward in the competition, his song was Ass by Stevie Wonder. I'll be loving you always. So when I left, when my mother passed away, I had to get approved by legal to go. They had to make sure that I would be able to get back in. But they were very, very gracious to me in terms of how they handled me with a production. I know how production is. I know at the end of the day, if it ain't they mama, folks they don't care and they not attached to it. So I do appreciate how it was handled during that time. So I was able to go, and there was enough gaps in the schedule that thankfully I was able to hop back into the production. But I literally left LA, went home from sun up, sundown, was planning my mother's funeral while at the same time being on with The Voice, having to show up for different things connected to the show. I was literally sitting at the funeral home by myself, picking out certain things, getting certain arrangements with an earbud in my ear with the social media team. Everybody's, hey, how you doing, everybody? What's going on with your team? And everybody's just, they're giving each person a chance to talk. And I'm talking to the funeral director. I'm literally experiencing the highest high and the lowest low at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
So going back to that particular performance, I have to connect the dots. So
yeah.
I was there. I was home for literally 7 days. I was back in LA the night of my mother's funeral. The night we funeralized her, I was back on a plane, back in LA, back in quarantine. Isolation, no family, nobody to hug or talk to or pat my back. Just sitting there, trying not to cry, trying not to get loud because the walls are thin. I don't want to be disruptive to the next person. In the next room, hollering, crying, trying to cry in the pillow. So I had to hold it together. So So when I got back to this hotel room and I sat in the same spot that I was sitting in when I got the news that she had passed, that Stevie Wonder song started playing before we knew it would be Victor's song. So I knew it was my mother talking to me, like, I'll be loving you all. So whenever I hear
Yeah.
that song, I just lose it. So we backstage, we practicing the song, we getting ready for the production, and he sung it and I lost it. I just lost it. And I was out of gas. I was on steroids, having all these reactions, family situations, crazy ass relationship issues, all kinds of shit was just going on.
Mourning, grieving,
Yeah. And
all this stuff.
yeah, so I'm saying all that to say that the place that I was in that day, I was out of gas, but I was willing to just do what I needed to do. Had I made it to the next leg of the competition, which was more intense, you had to learn 3 songs in one night for the next day. And I knew I didn't have it. My body was exhausted. I was swollen, like from the steroids. It was just so much happening at the time.
So
And so
much.
many,
But see
yeah, so
what you
many.
said right there? See,
Mhm,
that's why you keep being moved and elevated,
mhm,
uplifted, and taken to higher diving boards by what is greater than us. Because you could have just easily sabotaged your future by saying it was too much. But you
mhm,
didn't. You said it was so much. See,
mhm,
with that little, I tell you guys all the time, and there's a prime example of it. When we switch out words that deceive for words that really mean what we mean,
mhm,
it changes everything. Because when you say it's too much, God's going to stand behind his word of never giving you more than you can handle, and poof, something will disappear. But when you
mhm.
say it's so much, that's real. It's a lot. It's a lot. And that is real. That is honest. But you're saying, but it's not too much. I can make it.
And there's so many examples of that's the business.
That's the
Jennifer
business.
Hudson, 3 of her family members were murdered. She was singing at the Grammys the next day or a few days later. So it's like,
Yes,
okay, if I have these types of examples, I can do it too, you know? And furthermore, I don't know if I'll ever get this opportunity again. Yes, I had every right to withdraw. I had every right to grieve my mother. I had every right to go see about my family and do the things. But it's
yes,
like I don't know if I'll ever get this door again. And quite frankly, I want to know how much I can do. I want to see how much I can take, you know?
exactly, exactly.
So to your original question, how difficult it is, what I'm learning is I tend to be hyper introspective. And what I find is if I'm doing that during a performance, that's energy I'm taking away from what I can actually be doing. And that makes me inauthentic in that moment because if I'm singing a song and you're experiencing music a certain way, but I'm in my head about it, I'm kind of being fake to you. I'm not
Yeah,
giving you all that I can give. You're not experiencing the fullness of the administration of my gift because I'm back here trying to be a Stepford wife about it. Well, did that note to it? Now, granted, yes, there's a certain level of awareness that needs to be present, but that's why rehearsals are key. That's why knowing your instrument, being my voice, is key. So that when I step on stage and I'm in front of people, especially if I'm singing a song that has vulnerability, that has a level of it's not shallow, such as what the world needs now. I need to be fully in my body, fully present, fully aware that there may be something that someone that hears this and it may change their life in a good way. It's going to invoke some type of elicit some type of response. And if I'm not fully present in my body and giving you the fullness of my power and attention and intention, what am I up here for?
what are you up here
What am
for?
I doing this for?
Wow. So, what about your kids? You have a son and daughter, and they're absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
What about them feeling like they couldn't be there for their mother? Because then you have to talk them down, because they're worried about you.
Mhm.
You can't get to them. They can't really get to you. Um, what was what was that like? Did you see something? Did you learn something about your children that you didn't know prior to this
Well,
experience?
Well, no, I've been doing this pretty much in their entire lives. So there are times when I've had to travel when they couldn't be present. There are times I've had to do things and not be in the pocket per se. And
Okay.
so they were supportive. They knew what it was. Like, oh, she doing what she been doing. She been doing this my whole life, so she'll be back at
She'll
some
be
point.
okay.
Yeah, they weren't like that. And so yeah, so it wasn't a matter of like, oh, my mom, I can't be there, because it's like we most of the time we ain't there. So why would we care? You know what I mean?
Well, and I just want to say this about that performance, that I had no idea. I wouldn't have even played it if I didn't know you had not seen it, but it was one of our favorites.
But to be honest, listen, don't feel a way about that, because you said something earlier with the question that led to this, where we are in the conversation.
Yeah.
About, can I watch myself? Can I look at what I did? Can I da 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 da? And there was a time where I could, if I felt in the moment of execution that I didn't do it well, or if I didn't execute it fully to how I wanted to, I wouldn't watch it. But how else are you gonna grow or be better if you don't watch, if you don't feel those feelings like, I could have did this better. So if I don't sit with that, how can I get better? No different from when you're trying to get change as a person. I have to sit with where I am, see what's not serving me, or see where there's room for improvement or change, and then make the adjustments. All people that have done things that have accomplished mastery and greatness, they watch themselves. Beyonce watches herself.
Oh, clearly.
So if I want to do this on a high level, I gotta look at it. I gotta see, okay, well,
have to. I'm learning that too, Pia.
Yeah.
I'm learning that too. And it's a real challenge, because it's teaching me how God tells me all the time, listen, Lauren, watch all of it. And I don't believe in constructive criticism as much as I believe in constructive insight. So I approach it from that perspective. And every time I see something that I know I can do better, it gives me a reason to get back out there the next time and sweep the stage, sweep it, leave it, drop it like I want them to pick it up, that sort of thing. And we're going to right now. I really looked for a video version of What the World, because I absolutely adore it. Is my favorite. But we're going to show it anyway, because then I want you to talk about this wearable art that we're going to see while we're listening to this 2 minutes and some odd seconds of What the World Needs Now, PIA RENEE. And I want you to tell us about this artwork and the whole album, everything. So take a listen, and then we're going to get into this.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that's just too little love.
Yes.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Yeah.
Another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. This and more, if you wanted to know what the world needs now.
You better sing.
It's love, sweet love. It's the only thing that's just a little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Not just for some, but for everyone. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Yeah.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Oh, wait. Wait. I forgot I got this new stuff. Wait. Okay. Pia, I got to ask you something. What are you doing tonight at 5. Y'all late. Okay, wait. At 5:30.
I don't have any plans that I'm aware of.
Do you want to come to the Matrix Club with me?
Where's that at?
It's a brand new venue. Power We is going to be there next year. It's here in Naperville. They have a 2,500 person concert venue. I took Teresa Griffin there last week, and they offered her a gig to play in the restaurant part, which is going to be open to us tonight. It's a private preview thing, and they bring the owner in to meet you and da 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 da. I would love if you would come with me.
Let's go, friend. Let's go.
Google the Matrix Club Naperville when you get done here, and because yay! I'm so excited. I am so just wait. And I'm pretty sure Teresa's gonna be there.
Okay.
Because I know they sent private invites just yesterday.
Okay.
And I RSVP'd for 2, and I'm like, I don't know who I'm taking because Brian's not feeling well. So okay. Oh, yay. So I want to ask you something about this. This is a juxtaposition question. How do you feel? How does it make you feel when you encounter stargazers?
Ooh. Define stargazer.
Well, people like because I'll be honest with me, it makes me kind of a little uncomfortable. Like when I did the Heart of Hollywood thing, soon as we got on Hollywood Boulevard, the suicide door opened up to the car, and I stepped on. All these people came running. I was like, I don't know who y'all think he is. Me, I'm not him. Why are y'all here? I don't care. I just want to take a picture with you. And I felt a certain.
I'm not him.
I don't know who you think he is. But the thing was, I still felt an obligation to make them feel good about themselves. And it's a real thing, and you get it way more than I do, I'm sure. And so do you feel a responsibility? Some people are just like, excuse me, no photos, or you take time. I felt drawn to not everyone. You don't have time to, but there, like I saw Kim. She was in a wheelchair. She was a Black woman, and she had the most beautiful hair. And it wasn't because she was in a wheelchair that I went over to her. It was really her hair. Mm-hmm. I said, girl, can I touch it? Right? She was like, yes, because I knew it was real. I knew it was. And I just bent down. I said, oh my God, your hair is the most beautiful hair I think I've ever seen. And she grabbed me and she goes, thank you for that. She goes, since I ended up in this chair 7 years ago, no one has given me not one compliment. I needed that. And it taught me a lot about why we're positioned. That was the moment I believe it really clicked for me, Pia, where I felt God say, Lauren, I'm going to position you where people will come looking through the lenses of stargazers because they come to you thinking you have something they want, but you really have something they need. And when you give it to them, they won't leave as a stargazer. They'll leave as a trailblazer. And so that's why I asked that question. You know what I mean? Don't you get that sometimes where you meet a lot of people, but there's certain people where you're like, let me give them just a little extra love. Mm-hmm. That sort of thing. Talk about the responsibility part that comes with what you do. Because a lot of people don't get the full spectrum. How could they? It's not what they put in the press. It's not what you talk about a lot in a lot of interviews. Mm-hmm. And they don't live next door to you. Mm-hmm. So talk about that. What you go to sleep with, the things that ride with you on the tour bus when no one knows, the things that go to sleep with you on the pillow next to you when you're in a bed by yourself, but it's still there with you. That responsibility to your craft and to what people see you as. How does that hold you to a higher level?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be honest. You can pick that up and you can put it down. I can approach my life's work through the lens of responsibility, and I can also approach it through the lens of self-gratification, in which I don't owe you nothing. I'm here for me. I'm here for the dollars. I'm here for the self-expression. I'm here to prove a point to myself and to exhaust all of my whys as to why I do this. That's the thing. Or I can make it about, okay, I'm here to be this presence. And that's almost like a pastoral type of approach where it's like,
Yes.
and I think
Yes.
for me, it's, yeah, it could be a mixed bag. I used to carry that, like, oh, I have a responsibility and I have to do this, that, and the third. I have to be this, then that for people. And to be honest, if somebody does approach me with that energy and I can sense that what I've said or wrote about or performed or presented resonates with them on a level where it's evoking an emotion or it's
Yeah.
evoking a catharsis of some sort, I will take the time and have a moment with that person. But if it's just, oh, that was dope, let me get a picture, that's cool too. But sometimes people they just want a picture. They don't, it ain't all that deep. And to be
It's
quite
not
honest,
that deep all the time.
it's most of the time it ain't that deep. Most people just want a picture. They saw you somewhere, you were on the TV screen, a place that they would never see themselves or want to see themselves and don't know how to get there. So
Right.
it's exciting and encouraging and in that way. But to be quite honest, getting those visceral reactions they're few and far between to me.
Yes, they are.
Thus far.
Tell us about this cover.
Okay. I am very, very, very proud of this cover. It is a product that was once in my imagination and it is now out for the public to consume. That is actually an entire outfit, the whole backdrop, everything. That is a jumpsuit with a canvas sewn to the back of it. And it's erected on 10-foot poles. I actually wore it when I performed at the Promontory prior to the release of my album. And I don't know if you've been on my website, but I do have a couple pictures with it draped around me where it's not
Oh,
erected.
wow.
But I am the only artist that actually has worn her album cover. So
I
yes,
know that's right.
I'm
You're
the only
actually
one
the
that
only
did
artist I
that.
know, period. I'm just kidding. I know a few. I know. Wow. So where did the concept come from?
My mind.
Wow.
I literally have a post on TikTok where I drew it out and I had a vision for it. I can't tell you where it came from, it just came to me. And I love graffiti. Like I love, like, thus far, my what I draw to in terms of aesthetically, as far as photo shoots and things like that are concerned, are rough industrial glamour, presenting myself in a glamorous way, but in a rough industrial backgrounds. I love graffiti. I love cityscapes. And that's kind of, when I dig deeper into that, that's kind of how life has been for me. This diamond in the rough. So I
Yeah.
present in that way. Graffiti art is like usually in rough neighborhoods or in big cities that have reputations for being bad or troubled, and it's like they're like diamonds in the rough. So let's see.
I'm over here on here's your website. Look at these. I want you to introduce me to your photographer.
Go
Girl.
to photos.
Yeah. How do I gallery?
Yeah, let's see if it's in the gallery.
Okay. Oh,
it's not in the gallery. It's on my Instagram, Lauren.
Okay, we'll find it and I will post it in the show notes, you guys. But here's Pia's get over to PIARENEE.com. I am going to drop the link. You can come over, you can check out her music, read about the album, all the liner notes and everything else. And also you can also bookmark it so that you can find out when Pia's going to be. What's coming up? Where are you going to be throughout the rest of the year? You taking it easy? You're on the road? What's going on between now and the first of the year?
I'm planning things. I plan on spending quite a bit of time in Jamaica next year and doing some festivals out there.
Nice.
So and doing some things in Atlanta as well. So I'm brainstorming. I'm strategizing right now. So I've been trying to get into City Winery as well, but their booking process has been a little
we got to connect you with Teresa. You'll see her tonight.
Okay, yeah.
She does one per quarter there.
Okay.
And so that's you got to you need she'll work it out for you. And when you see the Matrix Club, you're going to say there's City Winery times 2. Because that restaurant part, that stage, those green rooms, all of it, it's a multicultural center.
That's awesome.
Yes. So you're going to get personally introduced to the entire team today.
Okay.
Listen, man, this was fun and it was worth the wait. I know you got big things to do today. I know you guys do as well. What a blessing it has been. It truly is. I'm so honored to call you friend. I am. And you guys, you see, we were I showed at the top of the hour that we were in the Los Angeles Tribune magazine, and PIA was at the very first Power of We. Yes, you performed that evening at the very first Power of We. Here we are, 5 Power of We's later. We've gone international. 5 later. Yes. And we're going to get you back if you're around and not out there shaking it up on the stage with John Legend or some other luminary coming up. We're moving it to the fall of next year so that it'll be when kids come back to school, and we're opening it up to all kids. That's why we've booked the 2,500 seat auditorium at the place you're going to see tonight, the Matrix Club. So we're so happy taking it from 250 kids to 2,500 kids.
Oh my God.
I know God is good all the time. Yes. So PIA, RENEE, again, thank you. You're such a blessing to not just us, but to the world at large. Keep going, keep growing, and keep showing.
Yay.
Thank you. Listen, you guys, get out of here. Go out and somehow find your highest self today, and then show someone else how to do exactly that. I'll meet you, God willing, tomorrow morning right over there on the front porch, where together we'll create another illuminated conversation right here on Bathrobe Moments. As in always, in closing, I say to you, I love you, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. I'll see you tomorrow. Get out of here and have the best day ever. Thank you, PIA. Bye now. Bye, everybody.
Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you.